What is up, nerds? I don't have a fancy intro because if I did, it would just get taken down because I'd probably break some copyright or some crap. Anyways, I am Taylor. This is Unboxing Match, which I should probably trademark, right? Even though, anyways, not talking about that. Tonight's guest is the one, the only ROB'S FATSTAX. The second visit, he's on the return. He's recovering from putting a whole lot of meat in a whole lot of holes, so he's probably a little bit tired. Go gentle on him tonight, but we'll bring him on and we'll see how it goes. So, what's up, sir?
Yeah.
How you doing?
I've been schlepping meat in people's mouth, and they can't take any more.
There you go.
You know who's going to come after you though is HBO. You got that HBO Max logo right over your shoulder.
Well, advertising. I mean, you're allowed to have a poster up. I think, right? Maybe not.
Oh, I don't know.
Who knows? Probably not, honestly. So,
it all depends on if they decide you say something they don't like.
Yeah. Well, whoopsie. HBO, I'm never paying for your service. Anyways,
it's a good thing you like Doom Patrol.
Yeah, exactly. But let's. Why don't you tell the two people watching who are probably already know who you are? But why don't you tell everybody who you are?
Certainly, I'm a dude and I open boxes.
There you go. That's very
Rob FATSTAX Comics. I do open boxes of comics. I trip down rabbit holes apparently, and can't say no to a comic book that even looks like a deal. And on Saturday with my friend Chris, the comic vet, we host a show called Slab Hub the Show, which is a show that we have people come on, bring on parts of their comic book collection that is slabbed, and we go through some of those slabs and talk about them and find out more about the individual, much like you sort of do here in your own way.
Yeah.
It's an interesting way. It's a nice way to have a different conversation, but along the way, we get to track down a whole bunch of lately a lot of comics that some of us may never have seen normally otherwise. Yeah. And then sometimes it's just fun to change it up and see the other. Yeah, I do. I even bowl, Chip. So there you are. I am the dude. The dude abides.
There you go. Do you have your own bowling league and everything?
No, I was just talking about this weekend at the barbecue. One of the guys I used to bowl with was here, and I was talking about it. Said, "Hey, man, now that our kids are off at college and stuff, we want to go out and go bowling. Let me know, and we can get going again." And because I haven't bowled in probably 4 years, which is kind of irritating me. All I've done is move my bag, my multi-ball bag back and forth across the garage.
Yeah. Well, hey,
you're in the way
today, and there's a local little bowling alley that just is up for sale. So you can,
I don't want to buy a bowling alley. No, thanks.
Hear me out. You can buy a bowling alley / comic shop. I mean,
and then just hang out there all day long.
Yeah, just hang out there all the time
and alienate the guests.
Yeah, and have White Russians, and that's all you. And then or drinks you like milkshakes.
Oh, why they got to be white? Why do you got to do that? Next thing you know, you're going to invite race car drivers over there so we can all be racist.
Yeah, well, listen, it is Appleton, Wisconsin. There's a lot of racists around here. It is.
You got
anything north of Chicago is chock full of racists. So.
A lot of NASCAR then, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's the International Motor Speedway not too far from me. That's pretty renowned for the area. So it's not NASCAR, but it's more hillbilly. So
racing.
Let's see who else can I offend in the audience tonight.
I'm just saying, if you're really into race cars, you're a racist, isn't that right?
Yes, you're a racist. Yes.
Yeah.
Also, I can't drink White Russians. I'd have to do alternative milk Russians. Is how I'd have to because.
Why don't you just drink whiskey like a fucking man?
I should.
Sorry.
Yes.
I dropped the first F-bomb on your show.
Well, you're a minute in. It's fine.
All right, good.
The chances of us getting through this shit without fucking swearing are slim.
Yeah, right. The two of us. Yeah.
Yeah. But I enjoy the black Russians. That's just Kahlua vodka or a blind Russian with Bailey's instead of milk.
You poke them in the eye.
Yeah. Well, if you get rid of the cream, you just do Bailey's and.
What about the Ukrainians? How do they feel about it?
Well, we should we should rename the drink, is what we're saying. Yeah. Yeah. Or do the Chicago handshake, which is just Malort old style, which is the grossest.
Malort in anything sounds like a bad idea. Well, actually, I've seen it. It is a bad idea. We even read the Wikipedia page, and it even said the company who makes the stuff says it's a bad idea.
Oh, it's fucking awful. Yeah, and Chicago does have some nice, contributions to the culinary landscape.
Sure, Chicago
deep dish pizza, Italian beef, and the fact that ketchup should be nowhere near a hot dog. But
yes.
Yeah.
Abe Froman.
Malort, though, is not one of those things. But yeah, this is We should probably maybe start opening up. Who knows? We'll get there. Why don't you just go? We'll see if I got you anything you don't already own. Chances are
okay. So why don't I even? I'll start by pulling out the knife.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And I'm going to cut you open.
There you go. What's up, Biggie? So for those of you that don't know, Rob is like Rob's like trying to shop for the girlfriend that just buys whatever shit she wants, anyways. So like, you're a hard one to do because like you if you want it, you get it. Generally.
Right. Well, and this is great because inside my mystery box is a box, and in that box could be anything.
It could
even
be
a boat. And you know how much I've always wanted one.
And I did, to full disclosure, I did not double box that out of safety. It's because I'm a cheap fucker, and it was cheap. The medium flat rate was cheaper to send it to you than after I weighed everything out. I was like, well, all right. So
I could have told you that.
Yeah. Well,
once you go more than 2 postal zones, you want to go flat rate.
I generally do flat rate, given my druthers, no matter what, so I don't have to think.
I do too because it's easier than keeping other boxes around and everything else. But I learned that though it's 2 postal zones.
Nice.
Typically,
and you're like at least 3.
Yeah.
Well,
all right. So
you're right, Chop. Chicago pizza is damn good. It's not really pizza; it's a pie, and it's a savory pie.
I'll put that away inside that one.
Chicago handshakes. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, which is better than Glasgow kiss or
is it really?
I
don't know what that is. It probably involves
Irish handshake.
Yeah.
All right, so we have our
German reach around. Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Oh. I'm invading your Poland. What?
Yes. There we go.
All right, open up this, and then I'm gonna pull out this stack of books.
Yeah, start wherever you want in there.
I'm gonna assume,
I'm just trying to surprise you with a few things. So
for poops and ha-has, I'll pretend that they're in an order.
Yeah,
and start from what was on the top.
There
of
you
the
go.
box.
I mean, they are in theory, but What's up, Mr. Lynch? What's up, Freaky? What's up, Kenneth? What's up, Chip? I'm saying hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Y'all want to get high?
So, what's your current rabbit hole?
Jesus Christ, which rabbit hole? So the current rabbit holes I'm currently on. Yeah. I'm trying to finish up the Amazing Spider-Man rabbit hole. That'll be ongoing for a while. I'm down to 9 books now.
Are they all sub 20 or like?
They're all it's like 14, and then the rest are sub 10.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
And then I know I still have 95.
Okay.
I had an opportunity to pick up 95. I was trying to make a deal, and somebody claimed the book I was on before I could get the guy to go lower.
I might even have a 95. I might have a 95. I think it's like a 0.5. So.
Yeah. I'm working on my my Batman 200 to 350 is really where my hole is left. I haven't been focused much on that. Invaders. I've been working on that. We got the first 20 something issues. Nice. There's only 15 left. I might as well finish that.
And that you can probably just buy in a bunch if you just find the right eBay seller or something.
I could, and I've seen some, but I'm being like picky about the books, trying to get like VF grade books because it's not that long ago, I thought, and then I realized the other day that it's almost 50 years.
Yeah, but it's also not a highly sought after run at this point,
right?
So you can you're not spending. Even like the Defenders now have gotten stupidly expensive. Like, Invaders will go, and so is Champions. It's like all those like
they will all get there, right? Try to get there first.
Yeah.
Mystery in Space. I'm still working on that one. Almost anything with a robot cover on it.
Sure.
So that kind of fun stuff. And occasionally, I keep finding myself looking on for certain Golden Age books, always looking to see, can I find a Schomburg cover for dirt cheap type thing? Yeah. So, first one up here we go. Flash Gordon. Yeah. What's funny is I've been watching the Turner Classic Movies has been running the old Buster. Oh God, what's his last name? The old Flash Gordon saves the universe or conquers the universe. The serials, right? They've been showing them. It's been great every Saturday morning. It's like every Saturday morning I get up. There's a new one there. It's like my new Saturday morning cartoons is watch the Flash Gordon serials from the 1930s or whatever the hell this one. Oh
Now,
God,
what did you think of the 1980-ish movie?
I was never a big fan of it.
Yeah, I mean,
I like the older school stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Queen. I love the song.
sure.
You know, how can you not? But
Yeah.
It's no comparison to the
I think Flash is probably the weakest part of that entire movie, which is not a great thing.
right.
So,
I mean, although I love watching these things, it's like, okay, here you go, right? Here we are. We're in space. We got all this stuff, but we're running and we got spaceships and rockets and lasers and
yeah.
pistols, but everybody's running around with swords and freaking bows and arrows and stuff too.
Well, you
It's
know,
like, because how can you have swashbuckling adventures?
They have sensible gun laws in space, Rob.
Well, they didn't. They just didn't have. They just didn't have laser swords yet.
Exactly.
Lucas hadn't
hadn't
come up with that
hadn't
idea.
figured that one out. Buster Crab. Thanks. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Les Crucius.
Yeah. Buster Crab. Awesome. Yeah. So awesome. So TCM's been running them. It's great. And of course you do see the fun stuff that, like, you know, Lucas took some of those things he talked about.
Oh yeah.
This is awesome,
Lucas
right?
Blatantly stole from everybody, but he really admits it at least. So
yeah. Oh yeah. He borrowed heavily from things that influenced him. Weird fantasies. These reprints, these are awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't. I mean, I love you to death, sir, but I couldn't afford to get you one of the original. So
I only have one original, and I am always blown away when I realize when I got mine that I have, and I sent it in for grading, and it's a 5.5 and stuff, and I see it all the time on eBay and stuff, and I see it, and I go like, man, I got a screaming deal on that book. But these are fun reads. If you
They're fun reads, DJ, you son of a bitch.
I love these reprints for these weird fantasy and stuff because you can read them. I'm sure as hell. Yeah, you can play around with them. They're fun. Great stuff. Love that stuff.
I forgot half of what I threw in there too.
Alien Worlds. Yes. Aurora.
It's a Dave Stevens cover at least. So you know.
Oh my God, that is so great. So classic.
I went to a little local a local comics show, you know, where you have to pay like $3 to get in on a Sunday yesterday. And I almost had a guy talking to trading. I have a graded Sandman #1. And then I had 3 books I was going to trade him for, and he just ended up backing out at the last second. It would have been Planet Comics #1, not the second run, but it's still Dave Stevens cover. You know, it's still a $100 book. Yeah, I know. The Superman 233, the Neil Adams, like breaking the chains, and then a higher grade copy than what I have, but still low grade. My Greatest Adventure #80. But at the last minute, he's like, I can't do it. I'm like, all right, fair. But
nice. I just love this gun that it's a blaster and a grappling gun or something all in the same one. That's just awesome.
I just love that. Like, it's a kind of a highly regarded title and sought after a couple of those issues, but it's such an ugly font. Like, it really, like the Alien Worlds, it's very 80s in the font choice. So, you know.
Oh, what is this one here?
I could probably tell you if you don't. I think. Oh yeah, that's The Expanse. #1.
Oh, okay.
It's a ratio variant of The Expanse.
Okay. I know the series. I watched it when it was originally on Sci-Fi, and I haven't, for whatever reason, I haven't gotten around to watch it on Amazon Prime to watch it since then. And I remember thinking it was. I loved some of the science that they were utilizing, like the Belters, how they, to torture them, we're just going to take them into gravity. You know, it's like
exactly.
They had
the round. I like they had the round garden and like they had mushrooms in space because they couldn't afford the meat and everything. But I was like, all right. My theory was
pretty cool.
You don't mind like properties that like licensed properties. I'm like, maybe he doesn't collect that one. Maybe it'll start to do rabbit holes. What I was trying to do.
It's cool though.
Yeah.
This is one of those titles that I do pick up on occasion. I haven't decided to collect it, because it's a huge run, and some of them get very pricey.
Yeah, well,
and I have enough damn rabbit holes. But I always love picking up one of these strange adventures. These are great.
Yeah, some of them do get very. There's a few that get pricey, like the 180 and 205 are the big boys, but like, and then anything sub 40, but.
Yeah, the Golden Age ones, and then stuff with robots on the cover start to get up there.
They're starting to get up there, yeah.
It almost looks like it's supposed to be. I can't tell if it's supposed to be or not, but it almost looks like Hitler riding a bomb.
I mean, it might have been. I'm not sure if that came out before or after Dr. Strangelove. I don't know. Maybe they just blatantly stole it.
Oh, yep. This is one that we've. Fortunately, again, another one where I've managed to avoid the rabbit hole, but I do dig Sea Devils just from the standpoint of I love the covers and I love these adventure comics and stuff.
Yeah,
this is just like it's just different.
They were blatantly fun, and they just didn't give a fuck about like telling deep serial ongoing stories. They're just like, all right, one and done.
Yeah.
We're gonna find some kind of monster under the sea and we'll have to figure it out. I dig it. And that's what I liked about like when you talk about the Saturday morning serials and stuff, like that kind of adventure to adventure. I grew up on like the Tom Swift books and all those too. Like and that's same idea. Like
all right.
Well, we're actually getting the Biggie stamp of approval today. That's a rare one.
I actually have a small run of this title too. The Rip Hunter Time Masters. These are kind of. I haven't read a single one yet. I have probably like 20 issues.
I have a few. I know he made an appearance on that really bad Legends of Tomorrow show for.
He kicked off the show.
Yeah,
and ironically, it was played by the actor who was Rory on the Doctor Who. So they had taken a time traveler and brought him on to be a time traveler. It's like being typecast. Okay. Although at least
he was much better as Rory, though. He didn't really.
Yeah. Well, at least he wasn't a Roman centurion this time around.
That's true. Yeah. Except the dude in the doorway. All right. He did not approve the Expanse title, so you can just go ahead and rip that one up.
Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll throw it in the giveaway box.
How
does that make me? Well, we will pass on some else. This is, one great hero and one not so great hero. We all know that Adam Strange is the great hero.
Yeah. And that's just a weird
not the hero that Tom King made him out to be.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of those weird Whitman variants. I'm like, all right, well, at least throw in when they're cold.
It is so weird with the Whitman variants. It's like they get I'm waiting for the day where people start going like, oh, it's desirable to have the Whitman.
Yeah, because every other thing is desirable nowadays.
Yeah, it's like anything else you can part. Oh, this one, look, it's a newsie. Oh, look, it's got this jewelry insert. Oh, look, it has half a color bleed, whatever. But Whitman, I have not found a single book where the Whitman variant is worth anything more or even close half the time.
Yeah,
to what it is. But
well, that's why
from a reading standpoint, guess what, folks?
Yeah,
it reads exactly the same.
It does, and I don't. And I am honestly not familiar enough to know. Like, I'm assuming it was a reprint, but it might have been like concurrently printed. I really don't know. Like,
I don't remember. That would be a good informative show. Somebody on YouTube should.
Somebody should. One of you YouTubers in the audience that does informative shit, not like the schlock I put out or Rob.
Right.
Just informative.
But I would like to take this moment, the opportunity to remind everybody who's watching this channel. Don't forget our man, Taylor Winder here, who you're watching. If you haven't subscribed to him, he's really, really close to 900.
I'm getting there.
He'd like to get there someday this year.
Yeah.
And your endorsement or going along with the flow is all he really needs to feel semi-validated in life.
That's all I need in life. I don't have anything else in my life.
Right. So if you want to give Taylor a semi, go ahead and subscribe.
What's up, y'all? Also, and shameless plug while we're shameless plugging. Thursday, I'm interviewing my first. I have my first comic creator interview coming up. It's I'm interviewing Felipe Pan, who's the writer of the Scout series Triskeli. I'm not even sure how the hell you pronounce it. He's pronounced it several different ways. It's an Arthurian legend, kind of gorgeous, like Gaelic series, kind of gorgeously painted. I reviewed the first issue, and I had issues with it. He commented on my review and said, well, I appreciate the criticism. And then we just started a dialogue on Instagram. He's like, no, I really mean it. And so I'm like, well, listen, so you want to come on and talk? And so he's got issue number 2 is coming out this week. So you should show up and talk. He's a Brazilian comic writer. And I think it's just going to be
so Taylor's going to get a Brazilian.
I am. I'm going to get a wax just for the show.
So there you guys go. This week, tune in, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you'll be alerted when Taylor gets a Brazilian.
And yes, that's exactly how it's spelled, Biggie. Yep.
and so a couple people trying out Six Face and Hoarder's
Yeah.
Hide Side. And I guess some of the Whitman variants do have higher
Oh,
value. Looks like some of them were brand use. Some of them are reprints.
all
Some of
right.
them
So if
were brand new.
Mark Jewelers are valuable, then the Whitmans should be.
Who
Whatever.
knows?
If
All
people
right.
pay more money for a stupid ad in a book, it's like, yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway,
So here we go. We got another Whitman.
yeah, I can see.
right on
I mean,
target.
I'm not just. I wasn't just getting rid of them for you, Rob. I was trying to
Brave
like,
and the Bold,
yeah,
starring Batman and the Question.
yeah.
Or, I don't know.
And
Or
so
question mark.
okay,
Or is it the Riddler?
I
We'll
don't know.
have to read to
You'll have to read
find
to
out,
find out.
Bat fans. Tune in next week.
That
Same
I
bad
believe
time.
when we talked about this months and months ago, and you said you were collecting up to a certain issue number, and I think that was your cutoff issue. So
I'm doing the Batman books.
yeah.
This is the Brave and the Bold.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, I thought you were doing Brave and the Bold up to 150, but I could have been.
Oh no.
Or is that
I'm
World's
just
Finest?
no. I'm just doing. I'm going Batman down to 150.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's what it was. All right.
Yeah,
See, I
eventually.
have to listen.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I do things like this. I have several Brave and the Bold books you pick up here and there. I do like them. They got Batman. I don't say no to them.
Yeah.
Hi. I'll have to find out though, because he's saying, can you discover who my co-star is in this special story?
It's a special story.
So
I'm sure it's not. You couldn't just look it up on Wikipedia. That'd be too easy.
I'm sure it's not just about who touched Dickie.
Yeah,
it's,
exactly. This episode's taken a great turn.
This is what happens when you let me on your
Let's
channel.
talk more about milkshakes and straws, Rob.
That was before the show. We won't.
That was totally different.
Yeah. All right, and the last Raw book here in this. Nice.
That is a Whatnot exclusive. It's EM Gist. It's the Obi-Wan #1. So
yeah. No, this book I know what it is. Okay. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I contemplated. It was available, I think, through the Illuminati group.
It might have been,
yeah. And I contemplated ordering it, and then I decided, this one though does say on the back says Whatnot exclusive. So maybe the Illuminati group one or whatever I saw before, maybe it was a trade dress or something else.
Yeah,
but I'd seen this.
Yeah.
And I contemplated it and didn't pull the trigger on it. I decided not to go down the rabbit hole of variants. Every once in a while, I'm good about that. So I'm really happy to pull a book like that because it's one I did kind of really like.
And I know you're an Obi-Wan fan, and I knew you were a Star Wars guy too.
And it's funny is my sister came by for the barbecue and she got me an Oakland A's jersey that they do stuff for Star Wars night. It was a custom order you could do just for that. So it has the A's logos and stuff on the side, but the front says Rebel Scum. Nice. And then for the name on the back, it says Kenobi. And then for the number, she went and pulled 66.
That's awesome. Oh, for order,
order 66. Thanks, honey.
Yeah, awesome.
All right. I think that you're the boss here.
Yeah.
Should I hold the slab? Would you do your Raws?
Just open it now, and we'll get into it. We'll see. It might be this you have already. It's also you'll see in a second. It's not a garbage book, at least. How about that?
So no garbage pail kids. Yeah. Not Duke the Dumpster Drosy, the comic book.
It's a Pokemon book, is what it is, Rob.
Well.
And
it's a giant oversized Pokemon card that's been slabbed, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised Pokemon hasn't. Do they make comics? They must. I just don't give a shit, I guess. But whatever. Oh yeah, fair enough. The fact you have that handy is terrifying.
Oh, it's set aside for a reason.
Yeah, I assumed. Yeah. for their ritual book burning in August.
Nice indeed. All right. So here we go. We got ourselves Detective Comics 407. Taylor knows I don't give no shits about no PGX. It doesn't bug me none. A book is a book. It's got Neil Adams art and cover. Awesome, dude.
And it's the first She-Man bat, or whatever the hell, whatever. Minor key, but I don't think PGX recognizes it on the label, but it's
No, they don't, but that's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And on the backside, guys, we got Power Slicks.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, those were awful to play with. They would always
Woo-hoo.
come off the tracks, but
I think I got some over here in a package.
Yeah.
It's still in the package or something. That is awesome, dude. I love this. I love the Batman and Batgirl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
also
love this.
like. I love Neil
trade
Gaiman or
dress.
Neil Adams coloring too on there. Like he went for the greens and the muddy browns and still managed to make it look good. And
Yeah,
that
Bride
was
of the
easy.
Mammoth. This is good. It looks really good. I mean, I can see why it's the grade it is.
Yeah.
With the spine ticks, but it's a lot of very small spine ticks.
Yeah.
And that's it's a book from 19. What is it? This. My God, they can't even put the year this book.
Put the year on it. It's
They
probably
put the year it was graded.
yeah.
So this book was there it is, 71. This
Yeah.
book was graded in 2007.
Yeah, so it's an old one, but
yeah, well, I know that because it's the older slab.
yeah.
It's their second. I know this is their second generation, because the first generation they weren't called PGX. It was the CCG.
Oh yeah.
Not to be confused with CGC until CGC sued them, and then it became the PGX.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, cool, dude. Thank you. That's awesome.
Man, hope to dig it. I know it's not going to make your wall of slabs, but I figured maybe you might not have it.
But it's not going away either.
Yeah.
Hell, that one that's definitely staying in the PC, brother.
So you survived a long ass weekend.
I did. So yeah. So for 23, so I've been married for 25 years now, and 23 of those years, not the first year and not the first year of COVID. So there's 2 years that we're off. We've done a cookout, a barbecue for friends, and it really did kind of start off like your backyard barbecue. Originally, it was like just my wife and I and a couple of our friends in our apartment balcony with a imitation Weber kettle and
nice.
making some hot wing, doing burgers and making some hot wings in a toaster oven, right?
Sure.
And then when we moved out to out of the apartment and stuff, it really started growing. I started getting half barrels and started getting some small smokers and started experimenting with different meats and doing stuff until today. Some people know, for my other hobby is barbecue. I do some local competitive barbecue cooking on occasion. And so it's kind of grown. And even this year in its smaller scaled down version, it's about 50 people. We cooked the smallest amount of meat I've ever done for this event. It was only 119.6 pounds of meat. So we cooked up 3 briskets, 4 pork shoulders, 15 pounds of linguiça, and I don't even know how much a ton of chicken thighs. Right. But yeah, it was great. It's a lot. Takes a lot out of you. I guess I get older and older.
I imagine I'd imagine the briskets and the pork shoulder take the longest, right?
Right, yeah. The brisket ends up cooking on the smoker for about 13 hours, and then it cooks another 2 to 3 hours in the thermal chamber before you slice the first one. But the thing is, killed me. I think this year really is Friday morning. I still got up at 4 a.m. to be on the Mark's community hangout Friday morning. And then I'm cooking Friday night overnight. And
that's dedication, folks.
And during the day, I kept saying, I'll take a nap Friday during the day. And I never did because I'm running around doing all the last minute prep. And
nice. So, okay. And I watched like the guy that, Franklin barbecue guy, he competed in like a barbecue once. He had like a mini thing on, I can't remember what streaming service. And like, competitive barbecue is a whole different beast than just straight up barbecuing, right?
Correct.
It's like
how you cook for competition is not how you would necessarily cook for yourself, because there's certain criteria with, like, for example, let's take ribs, right? People talk about, they fall off the bone and all this stuff. If you turn in a rib that falls off the bone,
it's overcooked.
It's overcooked, right? Yeah. It needs to have. You should be able to bite cleanly through it, but it shouldn't tug or pull off the bone when you do it, right? It's all about getting this right thing. And So there's different flavor profiles that people expect. I remember my very first barbecue competition. We were just doing like tri-tip
Yeah.
for because it's California, and I decided I was going to go in there with a bourbon marinade that I really like. Yeah, well, if you're not going to go traditional, it better be amazing because they're expecting traditional. And let me
Sure.
tell you, apparently it wasn't as amazing as I thought it was because I learned a lot that time.
Got your ass kicked, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we went very traditional, right? And you started learning, okay, what are the things they look for? What are the things they're expecting?
Yeah.
And you cook to that. And then it's still subjective, right? You're not even being, if you're going to a competition, there's a bunch of tables, and each table will have like six um people who are judging the food,
Sure.
and they're going to get some blind boxes that are fed to them. They're each going to take a piece. They're going to grade on certain things. But the guy next to you in the cooking spot, his box is being graded by 6 different people.
Oh, so it's
And
not even. So
it's not even the
It's
same
not.
people. It's not even
Yeah.
necessarily the same people, right? Because you can't eat that much barbecue
Sure.
at these big events, right? And I know some people out there going challenge accepted, but
Well,
you
I
just
sort of like, and I sort of assumed there'd be like a brisket expert section, and then, but it's like it's kind of all over the map, huh? With the like.
right. No, the people who go through like an hour-long course on how to be be a great, oftentimes they come into the local areas and they're just recruiting people locally and
Sure.
giving them a class. Now, the higher up competitions may have some more seasoned professional judges and
I see what
whatnot.
you did there.
And if
Yeah.
you're competing in the amateur levels, you usually get a mixture of rookies and celebrity guest judges.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of like a hodgepodge of stuff, and good. Just roll the dice.
Yeah.
You can. I've gotten all kinds of stupid comment cards back on your food. Sometimes, like the craziest one I ever got back was they told I was taking we were doing chicken. We are doing the muffin tin chicken that I don't so I don't know if you've ever seen, but you basically take the chicken, you cook it in part time inside of a muffin tin,
I
and then
thought up that
you
much.
take it
Yeah.
out, and then that way they're all uniform. They all look
Okay.
exactly the same when you
Sure.
present them. Look
Yeah.
beautiful. So I had boneless, skinless chicken thighs that I'm cooking there because when you smoke chicken thighs, the skin is really difficult. People talk about like peeling it off and trying to crisp it up, and forget
Yeah.
it. So I got a comment card that came back said that my skin was too tough on my boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I'm like, well, this judge is a moron.
Yeah. Nice. Well, there you go. So everybody, if you want to like enter competitive barbecue, just hit up Rob. He'll have his own channel on that starting soon. Probably not. Just like Poke and Joe, you need another channel, Rob. You're not on YouTube enough, is what I'm saying.
It's gonna be the you're gonna make your next shirt will be where on YouTube is
All right.
Robbo. It'll be
See you,
me
Chip.
and
Have a good one, man.
me with a red and white striped shirt and a little
Yeah.
hat and my glasses. Yeah.
Hey, I like it. I'd watch it. Yeah. Oh, the crowd decides the winner. I mean, that sounds like fucking madness.
There usually is
Yeah.
at the competitions there'll be a
People's choice.
people's choice, and
Yeah.
where that's a money making thing, which is good for the event.
Sure.
But it is some competitors much prefer to be the people's choice than at least if you're a restaurant or a
yeah, it
caterer.
makes sense if you have
People's
a business.
choice to be able to go around town and say, "Hey, your people's choice at these places." They care about that sometimes more
Yeah.
than placing in some of those competitions, especially depending upon the size of the prize money.
Yeah, makes sense.
Some of the prize money sometimes if you win, barely covers your expenses, really. So
Yeah, I mean, it's not a cheap hobby, right?
no.
Like, what's more expensive, comics or barbecue?
Well, yeah, especially since you do barbecue now, that now everybody's pulling, you're doing a brisket. Everybody's doing Wagyu brisket,
Oh,
right?
Jesus. Yeah.
So everybody's buying Wagyu brisket, and you're not cooking one, you're cooking minimum as a small town guy who's not serving stuff to the crowd. If I'm doing a competition, I'm cooking at least 3 briskets
So you
just
the
to
best of
get
lunch.
6 slices
Wow.
off of there to make sure that I get the best possible slices in there.
And what
right?
does Wagyu run a pound? I mean, it's got to be
Oh,
stupid.
Jesus Christ. I don't even know.
Yeah,
I haven't
right,
looked recently, right? It's
Yeah.
probably like $20 to $30 a pound minimum for a brisket
okay.
because It's
do
probably
you
more than
miss
that.
the old days when like tri-tip and brisket and all that was cheap cut? Were a cheap cut?
Actually, yeah. Well, I did just pick up the briskets I cooked for this weekend were prime grade briskets. I managed to find a place that had them for $4.99 a pound,
Yeah,
which
that's not bad.
wasn't bad. I
Yeah.
used to be able to get them before pandemic wholesale for about $3 a pound.
Yeah.
But brisket has become one of those meats that, with the increased popularity of backyard barbecue and everything else, as of late, a brisket is one of those meats that more and more people are going for, and it's running up the cost because there's only so many per cow.
Yeah, and everybody and their mother now has a Traeger smoker, so like
Or a big green egg, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
Yeah. All right,
well,
let's see what you got there, buddy.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
even.
Good.
I'm curious to
I'm
remember.
trying to talk barbecue, man. We're like,
Yeah, I'll get
we talked
hungry
comic
though.
books last time, so
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to see what I gave you. I can't remember. I only remember.
Look,
Oh,
great
same
minds think
box.
alike.
We
Yeah.
swapped boxes.
Yeah.
How nice.
Except for Rob's nicer. He put his in bubble wrap and put a start here on there, which I was like,
Wow.
Rob will figure it out.
And branded it.
And branded. I don't have stickers. One of these days, if I could tell you what, people, if I get to 1,000 followers, I will make stickers.
There you are.
Yeah, but we'll see. I'm at 897 as of before this, and I got a feeling I'll be stuck there for a bit. I'm not growing very fast. Start here. Very nice. You can tell it's not Rob. It's Rob, not Rob's first. Nice.
It's Rob's hassle-free packaging.
That's awesome. I will say, I know this is probably kind of a joke, but this is a great fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a newsie, and yeah, I'll take it. Thank you, man.
I just thought when I had the book and I'm going through it,
Yeah.
you know who would get a kick out of this book?
It did. That's awesome.
And it's the number one, baby.
It's number one, yeah. And some of these star books are going up in value too. Like some of these, like,
not saying you can retire on it or buy your van, but hey,
I could maybe afford to run a stickers.
That's right.
Probably not, but we'll see. Oh, hell yeah. Nice. I might be the only person that likes this Jackass, but I like Jackassy superheroes. Even when they're written by Dan Jurgens, who can't write his way out of a paper bag. But Booster Gold's a great idea. It's like a shittier version of Iron Man. He just comes back in time, and because he's from the future, thinks he's better than everybody else.
And there's a Dan Jurgens signing coming up, so there you are.
Nice. There we go. Hell yeah. I'm seeing a theme here. But yeah, this is, I think if done right, like a Booster Gold show would be amazing. Like if they just made it like if it doesn't necessarily have to be James Gunn, but I think he would really do a fantastic job. And I know everyone's like, oh, James Gunn should do every damn book ever or every show ever now. But like just given what he did with Peacemaker, I think he would really, really, really have fun with Booster Gold.
Maybe that's the next one they should do after Peacemaker's run its course, right?
There we go. Or at least have him show up on there. All right, I'm seeing the theme to this box, Rob. This is awesome.
Yeah, I think there's a couple.
Yeah, and this one has all the hits.
Gold.
It's got Captain Adam in there. It's got Guy Gardner and Martian Manhunter, and I don't even know who. Do you know? Does anybody know who this one is? I mean, I know there's Red Tornado, but not like this. I don't know that one. I feel like I should. I know there's Blue Beetle.
Where's Mark when you need him?
Yeah, exactly. Anybody with an encyclopedic knowledge of useless, shitty DC characters? Watch it on the rewind. Let me know in the comment section.
Or you can read it later.
I can read it and find out. But the problem with a lot of these in this era, even, is a lot of these characters aren't nowhere near the inside of the book.
Yeah, that's true.
Now look, you get Booster and Booster. It's a menage a Booster, a Booster à trois. Nice. Hell yeah. I mean, seriously, like Booster Gold versus Superman, I'd watch that show.
The Twin Terrors.
Yeah. And then we have Booster versus a building. Oh, see?
More Dan Jurgens.
More James. This show, I mean, I actually will probably read these because I've not read
Rocket Red series. Russian.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to read these because I've read some of them and they're fun. And like, it's just like he just is such a jackass, and I feel like I can read it. Rocket Red Russian, I think. Thanks, Gary. Speaking of which, everybody, he doesn't make content yet, but we're gonna talk him into it. Give Red Hammers Gaming a follow on here. It's Gary. He's the guy that runs Red Hammers Gaming, my LCS, and he's the one that's provided all these posters. So thank you very much. And yeah.
Yeah, thank you. We're getting tired of looking at a gray wall.
Yeah.
Now we think that Taylor has personality.
Yeah. I don't. I just I cover my personality with posters. Nice. Oh, Hercules. This was such a good book before the movie. No, it still is. Because I refuse to let my thoughts on the movie ruin my thoughts of the comics. And
I haven't seen it so far, so
yeah. I do think if done well, like a Thor versus Hercules would be great. But if they let Taika do it, I think he's gonna fuck it all up, sadly. And I like Taika Waititi's movies, but
I like that Scott says that we wouldn't go so far as to say that you have personality now.
Yeah, well, thanks. Yeah, thanks, Scott. But yeah, I don't know. It's probably spoilers, but at this point, I don't really care. They introduced Hercules in the movie a bit, Rob. And have you watched Ted Lasso?
So I haven't watched any of Thor,
Okay.
the current movie.
Yeah.
So thanks for ruining it. No,
yeah, no problem.
I
Well,
knew
the Ted Lasso show.
I know of it. I don't watch it.
Well, one of the stars from that show is going to be Hercules. So
okay,
I think it's actually pretty good casting because he's very hairy, and that's all you really need in Hercules is hairy. Sure. Nice. Yeah. Another one, underrated character.
I was looking actually at the 2001 Space Odyssey number 8 the other day.
Yeah.
I was almost pulled the trigger and I was like, why am I looking at this? This isn't really like my bag. And why do I need to open up another?
I mean, you really do need another rabbit hole. These are cool covers. Kirby, and I love the Kirby designs and everything. And like just the wackiness of it all. Like he really you could tell like he was either on some really great shrooms or just like exhausted from working 14 hours a day.
Right.
Or both, but
I just always love that there's always these beings that are so massive that they can just play basketball with the earth.
Yeah, and then they, also they'll change size regardless, like Galactic.
Well, yeah.
And like the Kirby eyes and stuff too, like just all of it. Like
can you imagine Galactus? Like when Galactus wears his kilt and he's standing above the earth, the entire earth looking up, going, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, it's like, well, that's why they call him Galactus because he's
nice.
There's
2 moons in the sky.
Fisting Khonshu, hell yeah! I don't have this one either. I had a couple of the rest of this one, but not this one though.
Good.
With the Dread Pirate Roberts. Not really, but yeah.
As you wish.
Yeah. I was trying to think. My nephew's in speaking tangent. My nephew's 5 and my niece is 7, and I don't. They have not seen The Princess Bride yet, and I'm like, that seems like about a good time to get them started on it.
It seems like it, and then what'll happen is you'll be watching it, and you'll realize that there's something that just doesn't translate somehow.
Yeah,
and they just don't, and they lose interest. But I would give it a shot. What the hell?
Nice, hell yeah. I mean, why not? I mean, they'll get some of the jokes. That's all I really need.
Yeah.
Another Fist of Khonshu, great cover here. This is when Moon Knight actually got some powers and stuff too in this run. Like he wasn't very powered up in the first one, but the Fist of Khonshu, he got fisted by Khonshu.
Hello.
Powers. And I've seen the next book, and dude, this is crazy here. And I mean, I'll take it, but like, damn, like,
oh yeah. So yeah, funny story on this one, right?
Yeah.
So this is like the 4th copy I had laying around, and I was just like, oh, okay, I'm not sending another copy in to be graded, and I was just like, oh, maybe I'll sell it, and I had already some books decided when we decided we were going to go ahead and do this again. I said, you know what?
Oh, thanks, man.
Let me just throw it in there for Taylor because I know he'll get a kick out of it.
Man. I love humor is hit or miss for being comics, but I kind of think the dumber the better. And this is a dumbass character, and I love it. Like it's a radiated spider that got turned into a pig. What more do you need?
Well, it's because he's a pig person, but he's also got Captain America, the Goose Rider, and Hulk Bunny.
Plus, look at the nostrils.
Yeah, I mean,
he's got the eyeball nostrils. Like that's that's all you need. And then and Goose Rider, hell yeah,
that's right.
Like Howard the Duck and Peter Porker are probably tied for like the dumb heroes that I dig for Marvel, but they're both. They should have their own series together. And honestly, they should just
They
let me
could call
write
it the
it.
Animorphs.
There we go. I think that would exist. Yes, whatever Ham can. And then look at this, people. If it's not a Turok number 1, I'm gonna be disappointed. No, I'm
Prepare to be disappointed.
somebody
It's
other
a Turok number 2.
Somebody
Even
in the chat I was in
worthless.
posted it. Somebody had a Turok 198. I was like, well, okay.
No, even worse, it'd be a Turok 2, right?
Oh hell yes! Hang on, I gotta hide the comment to get the full glory here.
Yeah,
Dude, yes, this is definitely up my alley.
Neil Adams, Dead Man.
Right. So we just swapped Neil Adams books basically.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
So that's about right. This is great.
Right.
And Dead Man again. You know, Rob knows me too well. It's like we've been like an old married couple. But yeah, Dead Man is also my jam.
With exactly the same amount of sex, even.
Yes, exactly. No sex and pretty much the same taste in books, but there was just enough difference that we could bitch at each other about things. Like like we'd be fighting over which crappy CBS show we want to watch at night. And
I don't want to watch Matlock.
Yeah, Simon and Simon. We're going Simon and Simon or bust.
Murder She Wrote last night.
It's a great book too. It's a nice condition too.
Yeah, no, that was one I picked. I picked that one up a while ago, and I had it. I sent that in and had it slabbed. It was tooling about in my collection for a while, and then I just decided that it was like I started moving some books that weren't really kind of like in my. I was gonna do a little bit of pruning, shall we say?
Yeah.
And it was like, and that was one that I kept waffling on whether or not I should I keep it? Should I not?
And that's kind of how I felt about the Batman book I gave you too. It's like,
and then it's like again, it was like one of these things. Like, you know what? Again, let me throw it in there, and
that's what I like about the show is like, okay, I generally thought you would appreciate the books, and I know by this pile you did the same thing, which is great.
Yeah,
and, So
exactly.
We're gonna chat for a bit more, but like this is another shameless thing. If anybody wants to be on this show, please get a hold of me on Instagram. That should be down below. As of right now, it's going to go on a little bit of a hiatus. I've just had other stuff going on, and so there's not going to be one next week for sure. But I'd love to have more guests. It's been 20. This is a 23rd episode. This survived a half a year, which is crazy to me. And I'd like to keep it going along further. I've been lax and slacking on recruiting people, but if you have any interest, it's a lot of fun. The idea is not to buy new books for people. It's just to like sort of do what like I think Rob and I did. Have books that we maybe like, but we think other people might like better or whatever. You know, like just get rid of some stuff that you've come across that you don't collect. And that's sort of the purpose of this. So if anybody has any interest, hit me up. It's pretty relaxed time. We just talk about barbecue and make a lot of stupid dick jokes. It's not that, so. But yeah, anyways, so that's my plug for the game. Oh shit! So like you got the Spider-Man rabbit hole still, and then have you completed I know you went on a Magnus run for a bit too.
So I did, but I'm not completing it. I haven't decided that. See, there you go, Scott.
All right, Scott. We'll talk. I'll message you on Instagram.
He's going to give you nothing but his cast-off black mat.
That's fine. The problem,
buddy masks. Nothing but buddy masks.
I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm giving Scott then, because it's gonna be an interesting one. So
you gotta go find all the old Dells.
Maybe I came across them today, but the guy wanted too much money for them.
Yeah, no, that's half the problem. So Magnus is one of those ones where I really I like a lot of the old covers, the painted covers.
Yeah.
But I haven't decided yet if I was going to complete the run or just get some of the covers I like. And for the most part, I've grabbed some of the covers I really like. Once you get about halfway through the run, it repeats. They just start doing reprints. And that's something that I've seen with Dell and not uncommon is that they get to a certain point and then they start reprinting the book. It goes on a hiatus for a little bit or something, and they start reprinting the old books from earlier and stuff. And so there's really no point on doing a complete run if they've already if you already have the book.
DC did that trick for a bunch of their titles too. So
Yeah,
Mystery
well,
Inc.
and
the one I can think of.
I've heard that Marvel's they've been known to do it. X-Men.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but so
Only
it's only
46
46 issues, may as well. But 20 of them are reprints. So
Yeah.
you know, nah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, honestly, those would probably strictly be cover buys too. It's
Well, they are, and but the nice thing is, I mean, it is nice in that look, ain't nobody making a Magnus the Robot Fighter movie anytime soon.
that's true.
So I think the speculation market on it is probably not going to heat up.
Yeah,
So I can let that one simmer for now.
yeah,
Because I mean, I was picking up mid high grade books for $25 to $40 for the most part.
yeah.
So
Hell of a lot cheaper than Spider-Man.
yeah, no, it is, and that's one of those things where it's like at this point, I was like, I also like to think sometimes I should leave myself certain things that when I go to the cons
Yeah,
that I want to look
got
for
something to
at
hunt
the
for.
cons, right?
Yeah.
And so I think so like that's where that falls into play. And some of my Batman run right now is really kind of like when I'm at the cons looking for run fillers
Yeah,
or garage sales or something type of thing.
yeah. That's kind of for me. Like we have a lot of similar taste in subject matter and covers and stuff, but I don't have any desire to have every single one of the robot covers and stuff. It has to like just grab my eye, and I like and the Magnus and the Solar Man of the Atom. There's a lot of those that are gorgeous. Those painted covers that are just like, but then there's some that's like, yeah, all right, they're all right. So
Well, and the thing is, I'll tell you, if it is a good time to pick up Silver Age robot covers,
yeah,
only because, and I don't know what it is about robots, but man, damn it, robot covers, especially on Golden Age books, that's like money. It's just
yeah,
like you'll see a book that's like, same artist, same everything, maybe not even, maybe some keys around it. They're like reasonably priced in the Golden Age, $100, $150. All of a sudden, here's a non-key, same artist robot cover, and it's $800. And right, and then the next it goes like this, and that's something that the Golden Age has. The Silver Age, I'm seeing some of these robot covers
yeah.
are peak a little bit compared to the rest, but they don't all do that right now. I think it's an opportunity if somebody's into robots
Yeah,
and into sci-fi stuff. There's a lot of still good value to be had in the Silver Age. It hasn't
that's true.
it hasn't
There's
gone
some of
hasn't
those
all
like
spilled over.
some of the Mystery and Space and My Greatest Adventure and Strange Adventure. Like if you just want cool sci-fi covers, like Forbidden Worlds or whatever, you can find some like cheap enough, like especially like the Charlton and some of those.
Now, yeah, although I do understand why at the same time too, as the art changed stylistically, and there's something that doesn't translate quite the same, as well as some of the stuff that they do in the science fiction design, almost because at that point in time you're in a real space time period in the Silver Age. People are more science based a little bit more science based
so they
anyways
put
in some of
pants
their
on
science
people.
fiction versus Golden Age, where it's just completely out there, crazy, wings on,
the Golden Age I think is definitely more fun. Because it's all high fantasy in space.
I just can't seem to pick. Here's my advice to any collector out there. Whatever I'm collecting, don't do it, because I only pick expensive shit for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Golden Age sci-fi books. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man first 100 issues.
Yeah. Yes. What you should do is like Web of Spider-Man right now, or
Web of Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man. Even actually, if you do like Amazing, I tell you, right now it's starting to pick up. But issues 100 through 200, there's
obviously a few in there that are pretty pricey.
There's a couple that are right now that are super expensive, obviously.
Yeah.
But the majority of the run is still very reasonable. Stick with Bunny Mask, right? Is the majority of the run is very affordable and has great covers. Still a lot of first appearances of various characters and stuff that exists throughout that stuff, and it's a run worth doing. And I said that out loud, but I didn't really mean it, so nobody get it because I need to go get them first.
Or you're safe for this one from Rob, anyways. get DC books. Like now they've been undervalued forever, and they're like the Black Adam is going to cause some of the Justice Society books to creep a bit, but they're still ridiculously underpriced.
I always find it fascinating, some of the spikes we get on books, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 2 years ago, I bought this Shazam 28 over here, right?
Yeah.
Which is the first
Silver Age Black
DC
Adam?
no, it's actually Bronze Age.
Oh,
First DC, first official DC Black Adam, right?
Yeah.
That book I paid $65 for raw 2 years ago.
It is a stupidly expensive book now.
It's as a 9.0. It's about a $900 plus book right now.
But okay, I say stupidly expensive, but if that movie takes off, it's undervalued, So I don't know. Yeah.
Well, potentially. I mean, at least it is a Bronze Age book as opposed to a modern book.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I don't know. I mean, you got it for a good price.
yeah, I picked it and the She-Hulk that's next to it over there. I picked them both up together for, I think it was $115 bundle deal.
I feel bad because I had the first Silver Age Spectre, and I put it in somebody's box a while back as not even a key book, as like a filler back in the day. And now it's like $100 book. It's still not nuts, but it's like, okay, son of a bitch.
Well, conditions, everything too, though. But
it was decent. It was not a junk one, but but yeah, a lot of the Silver Age DC stuff and the Bronze Age DC you can get, or horror stuff too. Unless pre-code horror, you gotta avoid like the plague. But post-code, I'm waiting for 80s indie to make a comeback because Dan Clow's books and all the really poignant things about masturbating in the closet and stuff, like all those little books that people did in the 80s. Once those make a comeback, I'll be rich.
Seems like a bit of a reach.
No, but they're all okay. But Robert Crumb books are still very cheap, and he's not 80s, but he's obviously 60s and 70s underground San Fran, and a lot of those guys, you can still pick those up for $25-$30.
Yeah. And I think that's just because it's not a mainstream.
Yeah.
There's less people looking for it, right?
Not mainstream by today's standards, but of that Mr. Natural book, there are still 500,000 copies printed.
Which, right, 500,000, that's a lot of copies.
That's a lot of fucking copies. I mean, yeah.
Especially by today's standards.
Yeah, so
everybody can do me a favor. Everybody just go out and go buy all the $20.99 books you can find. Yeah. Start driving the price up on those.
There you go. And then just burn them because they're garbage, and then it's fine.
I keep the number ones. They're shiny.
Yeah.
I still, if I find a Ravage number 20.99 number one, I still will pick it up half the time if it's less than $5.
I mean, I do think
and not spine ticked to hell.
Yeah, like Rick Lenardi struck goddamn gold with the Miguel O'Hara costume design. Oh. That is amazing, and that's
that is the character of the 2099 universe.
He was a journeyman artist for everything else he ever did. He was a fill-in guy before and after that, and I don't think ever came anywhere near the heights of that. But that's an iconic costume. The rest of the 2099, I would say Doom 2099 is second, but it's a distant second, and then they go consecutively worse.
Yeah, I remember when I was reading them. Obviously, Spider-Man was top of my list. 9. I liked as well. Punisher, I liked the idea of kind of the twist. As I recall, I haven't read it in a long time, but as I recall, the idea was that instead of killing his people, the criminals, he was taking them and locking them up and putting them in jail because there were no jails in 2099.
Yeah,
and so people were not, when they were getting away or just getting fine paying stuff. So he was making them. He was becoming their jailer as well. At least in the beginning. Some of the others, though, I never, Hulk 2099. I suffered through it. That was a
rough design.
I suffered through it. Yeah. And it was. I always thought it was funny that the Matthew Broderick Godzilla almost looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
And then, X-Men 2099. I don't know. I was
Mm,
never an X-Men guy, but I collected them.
yeah.
You know, but
X-Men
I always
2099
wished.
didn't land.
I just really kind of wish that there were more original characters that were created in that time period. It's like still to this day, as I go back and as that universe has expanded over time, they Captain America 2099 and
Yeah.
all this, and
Well,
then even the
even that
Spider-Man's
new,
villains. We're gonna have the Sinister Six 29, Octopus, Doc Ock 2099, and
yeah,
Vulture 2099.
yeah,
Why does
like
everybody want to be derivative?
well, because they know that'll sell and it's easy and safe. It's Marvel.
No,
So,
but I mean, as a character design, I mean, why would I? You know, I was like,
yeah,
what was everybody's fascination with the 1990s or whatever era that existed in that that
I know.
100 years in the past?
I mean, honestly, that would be a good idea, and that's not they're not going to do it at Marvel. Then, like if they just had a brand new property set in 2099, it'd be great. But
Yeah, I mean, and I can understand. Okay, maybe you had like the one, your one character that's your anchor, your Spider-Man, whatever. But the others, hey, take your moment to be a little bit derivative. Why do you got to be like, oh, we have to have a Fantastic Four, we need to have a Thor, we need to have a. I mean, in a Thor, well, whatever. I don't,
no,
anyways,
that wasn't very good either. But yeah, I tried. I read a lot of them. The one that I read the most of, I think I probably made it about 12 issues, was Spider-Man 2099. Because I mean, Peter David's schlocky and stuff, but it was a good character. So
it was. I liked some of the world building that got set up
yeah,
inside there with the idea of the corporate America where corporations had taken over the
yeah,
government and you could
yeah.
see that those dystopian type of realities where you could kind of see, okay, yeah, I can see us going down that path. Sure, why not?
Wait, corporations aren't in charge. Hang on, I have to place my Amazon order for tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah,
And my senator just accepted his kickbacks and his
yeah,
his
yeah.
lobbyists and the
Well, also Miguel was he was like a morally great character at first too. He wasn't like
yeah.
really that super. He just didn't want his IP stolen, right? Is that if I remember right? It was kind of.
Well, he was a drug.
Oh, he's a
He
drug
was
addict. That's what it was.
well,
Yeah.
actually, he wasn't. He got the Alchemex guys forced him to get hooked on, tricked him to get onto drugs, and then we're going to try to use that to blackmail him or something. And he ends up going in to use the lab equipment to try to remove that because it is a drug that bonds to your DNA.
Yeah.
And they're the only suppliers, so then they can control you. And so he goes to have that removed, but all of the fly, there's like some spider DNA somehow gets sequenced in there, and next thing you know, he's a much better fly. He can swallow the fly.
Yeah.
I don't
Nice.
know.
Yeah.
His spinnerets and fangs. I always just kind of dug the idea that was a little bit
Ravage.
more
Yeah.
sciency. This idea that
Yeah.
it's like, how does he climb the wall? He doesn't just magically stick there. Oh, he's got talons.
Yeah.
They cling the wall. Oh, how does he spin? He organically creates the webbing. He has fangs. He can inject venom. He doesn't have a spider sense, but he's got heightened other senses, including vision. But he has to wear sunglasses indoors all the time not because it makes him look cool, but because of lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pseudoscience, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was. Hey, but it was just kind of like I always
Yeah.
like a little bit of pseudoscience in my.
Yeah, I think Ravage might be the only one that I can think of, Scott.
Yeah, Ravage didn't
Original 2099
release.
characters.
Yeah, Ravage was original and was Stan Lee's last created character.
Well, there you go.
So that's where the now if I can find myself a Ravage 2099 #1 signed by Stan Lee, wow, my life would be complete.
You heard it here first, people. His birthday's coming up sometime. I don't know when your birthday is, but yeah.
It's coming up sometime in the next 12 months.
Exactly. Plus, all you gotta do is scribble something that looks Stan Lee-ish. He was forced to sign a lot of shit at the end of his life, so just kind of
maybe I can roll it across the cover of my.
You probably can, like, yeah. I could probably forge it. I don't think it'd be that hard to do.
No, I had I recently when we were at C2E2, I brought a copy of Ravage 2099 with me and had Keith Williams sign it. And he of course when I pulled it out, he's like, oh,
Yeah.
kind of taken aback by it at first, but he was really kind of cool, and it struck up a great conversation with him about his his Stan Lee experience, and that he had never met Stan Lee prior to that book, and getting the opportunity to collaborate with Stan Lee
Yeah,
was a highlight of his career. He said, so it was really interesting to hear these stories and listen to him talk about it and some of the process, even if it's a commodity that most people don't think highly of.
sure. Yeah, I mean, speaking of, I'm trying to become a little bit more gentler and nicer when I'm critiquing books. I mean, I'll still give my honest opinion of them, but I'm trying to be more cognizant of the fact that they are somebody, like, there are multiple people did a lot of work to create books,
Right.
and so I do try and bring up valid complaints on them, but I don't want to trash them just to trash them, unless they're
Right.
Marvel or DC, and they're just schlocking out a product. Then I'll at least calm out a little bit. But like, especially
Unless it's book 10 or 10, 11, and 12 of a 12 issue run from Tom King.
yeah, well,
Or
that's deserve it. I mean, that's Tom King needs what the kids call an editor, and yeah,
and an ending.
and an ending, yes, and not everybody like not a suicidal ending like you tend to like. Oh, okay, 12 issues in. Well, who's gonna kill himself in this issue, or yeah, whatever. But also, Tom King shouldn't touch any characters I like. We'll just put it that way. Like he can go deal with I don't know. Tom King could write 2099 characters because I don't care about but yeah.
He can go back and rewrite the last volume of ASM. I honestly don't know that he could be any worse. So
That's true. We probably have the Spider Wang at least.
at least it would have started off strong for the first 40, 50 issues.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, dude? What about Tynan on Spider-Man? That'd have been pretty brutal.
Well, we'd have a lot more spider characters.
Yeah, that's true. You'd have a whole lot more rogues gallery to pick from. Batman's been done dirty lately. Well, actually, so is Spider-Man. Those two, like,
yeah. Spider-Man is always being done dirty, which is part of the problem. But
yeah,
this is, I mean, it's really kind of rough. I the last volume was so just bad, and then you kick off with this volume, and I was excited.
yeah,
And don't get me wrong, I don't dislike the Tombstone story that was told in these issues.
it's okay.
Yeah, it had little bits of there. Hey, it was a little bit different. It was kind of fun. But the problem is all the stuff that's going on with Peter and through here. It's like we're still you just transitioned something and showed us MJ with some kids calling her mommy, and it's only been 6 months, and we don't know what the hell's going on, and even Aunt May doesn't want to talk to him or whatever, and he's being, what's going on?
Yeah, and that's supposed to be like I think that Zeb Wells' big thing, but then the Tombstone thing is just kind of like it's another Spider-Man story.
It's a like you're doing right now. Everything now is 4 to 5 issue stories, right? And that's fine. I don't mind it. Tombstone, I coming out of Spectacular and making his way over to ASM is fine with me. And I think as a story goes, we got a little bit of a little bit more background on him. We got some interesting kind of as he's trying to be different in how he's doing things necessarily, and but he's accepting his daughter and his I don't know. I didn't dislike it.
Yeah, it's just kind of like this is how I feel about it. Oh, it's a new run of Spider-Man that's like gonna recover.
And maybe that's on us for thinking that it was going to jump out the gates and just really do it. Instead, we're just picking up all of a sudden, and we're being left as audience that hopefully, without much more delay, because God damn it, if I have to read 75 freaking issues to find out what's happened these 6 months that we lost, I'm gonna be livid.
Hopefully, the big whatever 900 or whatever will be the reveal of all that shit if they did it right. But like.
I hope, right? Yeah, because honestly, like I said, I'll be livid. I'll still be buying the damn book, but I'll be livid. Damn it!
Well, also, did you read the newest Batman?
125.
Zdarsky, yeah.
Yes, I did.
And that's another. I like Chip's writing. I think he's a solid writer, but it just sort of seems like both of those titles just sort of limped into a new creative direction instead of like really taking the chance to do something special. I don't know, like that's
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm really kind of actually. It's funny. I think I found the backup story more interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we're bringing back the Underbroker. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Who's this big tin man? Okay, cool.
Yeah, that actually
Um,
was a more interesting story. But
Catwoman's sleeping around. All right,
yeah.
nice. You
Yeah.
know, but it was kind of what
Yeah.
Tim gets shot,
And then repeats like the same mistakes as or at
but
least he's brought him to the hospital this
well,
time.
yeah, it brings him to the hospital, but Tim gets shot. Okay, and then what? Oh, but now we're talking to the Penguin.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's like doesn't make a lot of character sense for me, really. But yeah, I don't know. I'll keep reading it. I'm hoping it'll get better. But that's my futile hope with Batman. I hope throughout the time and run it to get better. It's like, oh, really cool scarecrow design. It's gonna be a great fear of states. No,
Right?
no, fucking awful. Like, that's,
Even I thought for a moment, after all the hype on Abyss, and I was reading 124, and I'm like, oh, Abyss is back. Oh, no, no,
yeah,
no.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
damn, we're
And
creating another
maybe
Batman Inc. character.
and I think
Hooray!
that with both like Spider-Man and Batman, they both have amazing rogues galleries. And it's just they're not doing anything good with any of the rogues. Like really.
Yeah. I mean, well, not only that, but I'm just I I like when there's some of the both characters. I don't need to see
Yeah.
Spider-Man and Batman all consumed by their superhero ego.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what, in 120, Tim said, hey, you don't go out as Batman or as Bruce Wayne anymore. And Peter's not really going out as Peter anymore right now.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, dude, you know what? I, I understand that these part of these characters is their pain and stuff, but I would I would like to see them as people who are trying to do good.
Yeah.
Why is it they can't occasionally get a personal win? Why does everything have to be major buku tragedy and complete devastation to their personal lives and everything else? I mean, I understand,
Yeah.
okay, oh, that's how much more heroic they are, that despite everything that goes on to them personally, they still get out of bed and go
Sure.
out there and do it. But
Well, I
do
mean, some of
they?
that is just the soap operatic nature of comics, but it's lazy writing too. Like they could,
Yeah.
like you could have it could. You're right. It could be a very interesting story if like all of a sudden like the personal life became fairly successful, and then their like superhero life was absolute horrible. Like
Right.
or as a
And,
change.
and how many times? Oh, here comes Batman. Ready? Oh, I'm going to fight this rogue. This
Okay.
rogue's got a big plan going. Oh,
Yeah.
the rest of the Bat family is asking me if I need help. No, I will do it alone. And then I'm going to run into all kinds of problems, and they'll have to come save my ass,
Yeah.
basically, or help me out,
Or
anyways. And then
there's
I'm going to get
of the
grumpy about it.
existing 40 members of the Bat family, none of them could possibly do it. So we have to make a new one called Ghost Faced Maker Killer Peace.
Or they're doing their thing, and a Batman's going to come in and save them, and
Yeah,
because
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. I don't
like,
know.
oh, hey, somebody's over in this part of the woods. Would you like me to send somebody from the team? Oh, wait, I see you're already there.
Yeah. I mean, at least Williamson did a little bit of that in his 5-issue run, but they all fucked it up too. So like they still had Batman coming at the end. It's like, whatever.
But hey, who's the fool? The writers who write this shit, or us who keep buying it and reading it and expecting it to change?
Yes, that's the definition of insanity right there. So,
Maybe they should put us in Arkham Asylum
yeah, well.
or
Do you have
Arkham
anything
Tower.
that's a transition? Do you have anything that's coming out that you're looking forward to? Like anything? Are you not? I mean, I know you don't do a ton of previews and kind of stuff, but like any upcoming books that you're?
That's a mighty fine question. I'm kind of keen to see where this this Riddler story that's coming out
Oh, the Tom
is
King
going
one.
to. Again, I'm a masochist apparently,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I have hopes.
yeah,
I'm interested to see. I've sort of been enjoying Last Bot Standing,
yeah.
and
You've told me good things about that. I'm not
eh,
going to get into it because
yeah,
you know.
I'd like to see that go out. Um, but as far as some of the other stuff, I don't really know that.
Yeah,
I think the biggest excitement for me is the next time another copy of the New Planet Comics comes out, just to read some more schlocky,
nice.
goofy
Yeah,
stuff. But um, yeah,
yeah. That's fair.
most of my hopes and desires are for books to come back from grading services.
That's you got me beat there. I don't have anything out for grading currently. But
shit,
yeah,
I swear they're all just bad. I mean, it's just
I honestly, I'm not going to say they need Jim Shooter back in charge of anything, but an event that like the first Secret Wars that was just kind of a little silly, a little goofy, but still kind of badass. If they did something like that, that would have me.
I'd like to see them have 8 months without a freaking crossover event.
Yeah, that'd be nice, but I don't think they have. No, because Avengers versus X-Men versus Eternals, the Axe body spray is coming up, and then there's probably at least another one I'm forgetting on Marvel side, and DC's got 40 of them going on that they're all
Chaos and Comics, yeah. Spider-Man got rich for a while there, but it was really Doc Ock who got rich.
Yeah.
When Doc Ock was in Doc Ock took over Peter's body, built up a company, and then when Peter came back and took over the company, he immediately crashed and burned it to the ground. And
I did not hate that. I kind of enjoyed the Superior Spider-Man, where he's like, "Oh, this isn't that fucking hard."
Well, no, the Superior Spider-Man series after Peter got his body back, I thought that was solid. I enjoyed the heck out of it. The stuff where, I mean, in Peter Parker and Parker Industries and him running that into the ground, and again, it was like Parker Industries super popular, very successful. Peter comes back and takes over his own body into the toilet.
Yeah, and I get why they did that. I mean, that was the whole point of that, is that Peter does not have a great grasp of personal life, but it's still like.
And then him dating him, kind of his relationship there for a while with Bobby Morse Mockingbird just really didn't make any sense to me. But I was like, oh, we're kind of working together. Oh, therefore let's be in a relationship. Oh, yay.
Yeah. Just because she's not a redhead.
All his sister, I don't know. Superior Chaos and Comics. If they put Rob's brain in my head. Okay.
There you go. That's what we should all do.
Then we can make some barbecued pulled spider pork.
Spider pork. It's nice. I bet your spider doesn't taste that bad if it's grilled up.
A big enough spider, sure. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, that's what a lobster is.
Anything. Yeah, I mean, really, crabs and lobsters are just arachnids, right?
Yeah, pretty much, right?
Well, maybe not lobsters. I don't know how many. I know crabs are pretty much.
I think lobsters have 8 legs, don't they? I don't know. I've never counted.
I just know that you'd rather get lobsters than crabs. That's all I know.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, yeah.
And on that note, folks,
yeah, and that's probably a good natural place to wrap this one up. But anybody, I'll repeat it once more, and then I'll let Rob post the promo where you're coming up. Please get a hold of me if you want to be on this show. It's going on at least a week's hiatus. I think Scott from Hoarder's Hide is going to come on at some point. But if anybody else wants to be on the show, drop me an Instagram message. I'm down here. It's very easy. It's very low pressure. We set a rough price point and then talk about what each person's interested in and swap boxes. There's no grand thing to it. There's no going out and shopping.
And the price point isn't go shop.
No.
It's just a rough.
It's just a guideline as far as what to throw in the box. That's all it really is.
Yeah.
And the idea is not to buy more shit. It's to get rid of shit you already have that you don't necessarily want. So throw your Turok number ones my way is what I'm saying. And anyways, Rob, what do you got coming up?
Oh, well, the big thing is Saturday. The rest, Mondays and Thursdays I open some boxes. You can see the kind of stuff I get. It's fun. Saturday's a big day. This Saturday we'll have at 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 Eastern. We're going to have Bub's World from on for Slab Hub this week.
Nice.
So make sure you hit the if you're not already subscribed, hit the notification bell so you're there, because we're working on trying to pass Taylor
you're going to
subscriptions. Just not because I don't like the man, only just because I feel like it would irritate him.
Well, it would. And what I'm going to do in retaliation is just make sure Rob gets a whole shitload of copyright strikes.
Harassment.
Tell Bubby sucks. Well, there you go. Plus, I mean, you guys have to go watch Rob shit on Saturday because he gives away a lot of free books.
I do.
Yeah.
I've reloaded the box recently.
There you go.
So
And
all
then
right.
I do my Wednesdays. I talk about
Yeah.
why I hate every comic book ever. And then this Thursday, though, is the one I'm promoting. Felipe Pan, writer of Triskele, is going to be on this. I'm going to have an interview with him. That's at 7:30 Central Time. Please jump in. Please ask questions when you're there, and it'll be fun. So
Yes, Taylor gets a Brazilian.
Unless I get a Brazilian. It's an interesting book. It's a lot of like Gaelic myth, and I've read another thing he's written that I'm not really allowed to talk about, but he's big into like history and studying and stuff, and like a lot of research you can tell goes into his book. So I think it'll be a fun guy to talk to, because I think he's probably got a vast knowledge of a lot of subjects. So yeah, that's probably all we got. Ron, you got anything else?
Dude, I just was reading Chaos Comics talk about his $5 one, but I almost think that would be cool.
I think it would be
$5. You got $10 at a dollar bin, and you got $10 from a dollar bin. Go,
there we go. That's actually probably a better version of the show. Then there's really no pressure on it.
It costs more to ship it than it does to.
Exactly.
Well, actually, that's not true. $10 will fit in a Gemini mailer, which will fit inside a legal flat rate envelope, which will cost you at least using some of the discount shipping software, just over $7 to ship.
Yeah, but if you pay for the Gemini, you're up to $8.25, $8.50. So
that's true. But everyone's got something to reuse.
Yeah.
All right. No, I'm good.
All right. Same here, guys. Don't be a dick. That's all I got.
Hasta la pasta, vago, in case.
Yeah.